Hey, I know this won't game popular, but I follow when your light goes. I know it's you, nothing impossible. Connected to my armor, bro, shining like a light bulb.
Barak Yahuwah, Ruma Mu Yahuwah, Alahuyah. Shabbat Shalom, beloved Mashpaka. And to all those who are searching for truth, who are seeking righteousness, seeking the Most High Yahuwah, we welcome you as well to our channel, Yahuwah's Chosen People. Barak Yahuwah. On this day, Yahuwah has rested, and He commanded us to rest the same, to cease from our work. Many believe that the Shabbat is about a day of worship, a worship day where you go together and all that stuff. But it's not really about worship in that sense. Yes, we gather together on the Shabbat day, but the main reason why Yahuwah give us is to rest, to cease, to get all the things off the world, off our minds, off our shoulders, and to give Him all the praise, to give Him all the focus, all the attention. The Shabbat day is all about Yahuwah. So in today's topic, there is a question that is popping up a lot because persons are researching and they're finding out more about this particular day. And this question or topic is, can we fast on the Shabbat? Now, you'll find this script in the book of Jubilees, the last chapter, chapter 50. And we're going to read it and see what it says. And then we're going to go into scripture to see if this is scriptural or not. Because there is another question that one will ask. If you say, no, you cannot fast on Shabbat, then the other question comes up. What about Yahusha? How did he fasted for 40 days? He fasted for 40 days, so how was that possible? What about Daniel? He fasted for 21 days. So how can you do a lengthy fast, but yet you cannot fast on the Shabbat? Did Yahusha break the law, break the Torah? Let's find out. Because in Matthew 12, verse 8, it says that He is the master of the Shabbat. He is the master of the Shabbat. So if He's the master of the Shabbat, then by all means, He will never break the Shabbat. He will never do anything that's outside of the will of the Shabbat. So, Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. This video won't be long. It's just to give some understanding and some clarity to those who are asking these questions. You know, what about Yahusha? How can I do a 21-day fast or a 10-day fast if I cannot fast on the Shabbat? How am I going to be able to do that? All that stuff. Barak Yahuwah. So let's get into it. Barak Yahuwah. Alahuyah, Ruma, Mu Yahuwah. So, all esteem to you, Abba Yahuwah. We give you all praise. We give you all thanks. We give you all honor even now, Father. And we just ask even now that you forgive us of all crimes committed against you, committed against your Torah even now. And as we forgive those who have done things against us, Abba Yahuwah, because you said in your word, if we don't forgive man of their crimes, then how can we expect you to forgive us of ours? So we forgive even now, Abba Yahuwah. And we ask even now that your Ruach Kadosh continue to be poured out upon us and dwell with us and be with us even now. Hallelujah. Take all the praise, take all the esteem. Rise up more laborers for your harvest even now, Yahuwah, so that there can be more sheep that are coming back to the flock. We give you the honor, we give you the praise, we give you the esteem that you are worthy of. In the name which is above every other name, Yahuwah, Yahusha, Aman. So be it. Barak Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Alright, so as I said, guys, it's not going to be a lengthy Shabbat lesson or teaching. So, Barak Yahuwah. So we're at Jubilees chapter 50. And I'm going to read Barak Yahuwah. You can start from verse 1 if you want to get some more understanding, but you can start at verse 7. Alright? So verse 7 says, 6 days shall you labor, but on the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah Eloheka. In it you shall do no manner of work, you and your sons and your male servants, and your maid servants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner, the stranger, also who is with you. So you see, the Shabbat day, because many, especially those in religion like Christianity, they think, oh, it's just a day of worship, and all they gotta do is just worship on that day. But what is true worship on the Shabbat day? True worship to Yahuwah is obedience. And in order to truly keep the Shabbat Kadash, you cannot do work or pleasure on the Shabbat day and just go to the assembly and say, all right, I worship Yahuwah, so that's it. Here you go, Yahuwah. No. You got to follow every rule according to the Shabbat. You can read Isaiah 53 and it will give you more information regarding Shabbat. This chapter as well, Jubilees 50, it gives you more information that we're going to read right now about the Shabbat. And there are other places in scriptures that gives you more information or rules regarding the Shabbat of what to do and what not to do. So the Shabbat day is just not just a day of worship where we treat it as Sunday worship, where we go to CH, worship, come back home and do whatever we want, say whatever we want, do our own pleasures, cook, clean, whatever it is. That's not how you keep the Shabbat sanctified or separated. You cannot do no work whatsoever. So those out there in religion saying that they have a day of worship, which is Sunday, that's their Shabbat, but yet you're still working. When do you take a break off from work? Because even if you go to CH and you're like, all right, no calls in the morning, but by the time you get from the assembly, you start to talk about business or work or your own pleasure, your own words. And Yahuwah made that clear in Isaiah 53 that you're not supposed to speak your own words on his day. It's all about him. You're not even supposed to lie with your woman, your husband. Why? Because he says no pleasure. Intercourse, sexual intercourse is pleasure. It is pleasure. It is your own pleasure that Yahuwah gave to you for your enjoyment, for our enjoyment. So lying, having intercourse with your spouse is pleasure, and you're not supposed to do that. And you don't see that in that detail, but you see it here in Jubilees 50. So you see Genesis, so it will give you one topic. So Genesis is like a topic. Other parts of scriptures are like subtopics, like gives more information. So you got a huge category that would be Genesis and the other books. Then when you go into other books like Jubilees and others, they're like subtopics, subcategories. They give you more information, more details. Have you guys ever read Genesis? Like, in the beginning, Yah created the heaven and earth, and let's jump to Adam. He created Adam. Adam lonely. He created Hua right after Adam named all the animals. All this happened. The serpent came to it. Genesis makes it seem as if everything happened in 1 or 2 days. But when you read Jubilees, it shows you that it did not happen in 1 or 2 days. Because if they should go by days or weeks, it will be too long. Genesis will be a very long book. I mean, most books in the Bible would be a very long book if they should go and tell you what happened each and every day. That's why Yahuwah says, line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Yahuwah is trying to show us that we have some of the information. And it's like watching a series movie. When you watch the first episode and you see something happen, a man has a very terrible past, but you don't know what he did in his past. You got to continue to watch each episode until you figure out what he did in his past. Because in each episode, a glimpse or a preview is revealed of his past. So that's what you got to read and understand the Bible. The Bible is like that. That's where they took this idea from to make series movie. They're imitating what Yahuwah did in the scriptures. So you got to go through every episode. You cannot skip an episode or a season. You got to go through every season. So with that understanding, some instructions you may not see directly, but it's right there under a category. You just need to use the Ruach Hadash, ask Yahuwah, and he will reveal it to you. So not every instructions will be given directly by the name or the title, but it will be under something though that you got to use your head to figure out, or you got to use the Ruach Hadash to help you understand this. Barak Yahuwah. So the Shabbat day is a day of resting, a day of giving Yahuwah all the praise, all the esteem. It's a day to Yahuwah. It's like when we were in the world, our religion, and we were celebrating birthdays, and we said today is my day, and it's all about you on that day. Everyone wishes you birthday wishes and all that stuff. They give you present, they gives you gifts and all that. It's like you get the whole day off. Your jobs, your employers, most, some, not all, some will say, you know what, it's your day, take the day off. I'm giving you the day off. You get that day of rest. You get that day of feeling, extra special. This is why I don't celebrate birthdays anymore, because it's too much self-idolatry. You're making yourself into a mighty one, an idol, if you realize, based on what I just said. That's what we should be doing to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah only. No one should be given such esteem or praise. So this is why I do not celebrate birthdays. And this is why celebrating birthdays is wrong. If you want more information about birthday celebration, you can check out the video that we have on the channel, and it gives you more information, the origin of it, and going into scriptures about birthdays. Barak Yahuwah. So I'm just giving you guys an idea of what the Shabbat should be. The Shabbat is a day to Yahuwah where it's all about him. Everything that we talk about, do, say, think, pleasure, whatever, it's all about Yahuwah. As I said, one may say, but Azari, didn't Yahuwah give me my wife? So if I'm having pleasure with my wife, how would that be wrong if Yahuwah gave her to me? Again, there's a day and time, there's a time and place for everything, right? Yahuwah says clearly right here, 6 days shall you labor. Yahuwah gave us 6 days to work, to labor, to speak our own words, to do our own pleasure. Yahuwah is only asking us for 1 day to make it be not about you, not about your wife, but about me. Are you saying that's so hard for you to not have sex 1 day? You're just missing out 1 day, and you're going to make it about your master, your creator. Are you telling me that you cannot give Yahuwah 1 complete day? I mean, think about it. So the Shabbat day, that's what the Shabbat is all about. Resting, obedience to Yahuwah, making it be about Yahuwah for the entire day. Not like when we were in religion where we still spoke our own words on Sunday. We went to CH, and once CH is over, the assembly is over, we come back home, we cook, or we chat, we gossip, whatever the case may be. No, that's not how you keep the Shabbat and keep it sanctified or Kadash, separated, called out. Barak Yahuwah. So, clearly says, 6 days shall you labor, but on the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yahuwah Alaikam. In it you shall do no manner of work. So it tells you, you, nor your sons, and your male servants, your cattle, even animals are supposed to keep the Shabbat that you own, that work for you. You got to give them rest as well. And your strangers who live in your house, they are supposed to keep the Shabbat as you if they want to stay. They are living there. And verse 8, it tells you, any man, and the man that does any work on it shall die. Whosoever desecrates that day, whosoever lies with his woman, or whosoever says he will do something on it, that he will go out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling. So you see, it's talking about work, buying or selling. You're not supposed to do this. If you read the other parts of scriptures, you see this instruction clearly. Whosoever draws water thereon, remember they used to use well or go by the river to catch water, and they were heavy containers. It took a lot of work, it took a lot of time away from Yahuwah. You should already have this prepared for you on the 6th day. This is what it's saying, which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day. Whosoever. So Yahuwah gave you day 6, which we call preparation day. Why? because we prepare for the Shabbat. We prepare to rest. So on the 6th day, we would cook all the food that we would need for the 6th and the 7th day. We would gather water. We would do everything that we need for the 7th day, which we will not be able to do. Now, when we were in religion, especially Sunday worship, we did not see this happening. We did not see this. We did whatever we want. We worked. We did all these stuff. So then, again, question asks, are you truly keeping the Most High's day of worship? And remember, he says the 7th day, not the first day. Sunday is the first day of the week. Yes, you may go into Mark or John or Matthew and see it says on the first day of the week they showed up to his grave. If you should click on that word week and see the Greek word is Sabbaton, which means Sabbath, which means in Hebrew is Shabbat, which in English would be 7th day, to cease from work, the 7th day of the week. So it was never talking about the first day of the week. Yahusha rose on the Shabbat, the 7th day of the week. They went to the grave on that day. So it was never talking about the first day. And even if you want to say, let's say it was talking about the first day of the week. Where in scriptures does it tell you to keep the first day of the week, Kadash, separated, sanctified? There is no command in the Bible that tells you to keep the first day of the week, Kadash, sanctified unto the Most High. He says the 7th day. In Matthew 12 verse 8, the Messiah said he's the master of the Shabbat. He kept the Shabbat. After he died, which you guys in religion would say he nailed it to the cross, which he died on a tree. After he died, the disciples and the apostles still kept the 7th day Shabbat. So, how is it in our time now, after he died as well, we are keeping the first day, while they, after he died, kept the 7th day? Don't you see that something is wrong with that? Don't you see the lies, the deceptions, the twisting that they did to us? And that's because we don't read the Bibles for ourselves. We only read the Bible when we're in trouble, or when we go to CH, or when there's some kind of benefit for us. We don't just take up the Bible and say, you know what, I'm going to try to read to understand, read to know the history, know the story of why the Most High chose this nation for himself. Who is this nation? If you truly take up your Bible to read to know instead of read to benefit, then you will see a different result. So, again, there is no scriptural proof to support first day worship. That's just man-made. That's the Roman Catholic. The Roman Catholic made a decree calling it National Sunday Law. You ever wondered why is it that most businesses, most government agency, I don't know about America that much, but here in Jamaica, most government agencies, they do not work on Sunday. They do not work on Shabbat as well, but some do half day. But most is Sunday. Sunday is the slowest day of the week in Jamaica. It's the slowest time. Slowest day. It's more like a family home time on Sunday, or a beach time. Because the Roman Catholics made it that way. Whatever the Roman Catholics say, we do. That's what we did. And that's what we're still doing to this day. So do your research for yourself and see if I'm lying. Back to the Shabbat and fast. Can we fast? Let's get to that scripture. So you see, it says, whosoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent, so you see no work. You shall do no work whatsoever on the Shabbat, except what you have prepared for yourself on the 6th day, so as to eat and drink and rest and guard the Shabbat from all the work on that day. Because remember, that's why you have preparation day. You prepare food to eat on the Shabbat. Why? Because it's a feast day as well. And on feast days, every feast days in the Bible, the 7 feast days, We all have gatherings and eatings on these feast days. Every feast day. That's why it's called a feast, where you're supposed to eat. I'm giving you clues as why you're not supposed to fast. Barak Yahuwah. On that day, and to Barak, to exalt Yahuwah Alahikam, who has given you a day of feast and a Kadash day, a day of the Kadash kingdom for all Yasharal. In this day, among their days forever. No change. For great is the honor which Yahuwah has given to Yasharal, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this feast day, and rest thereon from all labors which belongs to the labor of the children of males, or humankind, mankind, except burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before Yahuwah for days and for Shabbats, or Shabbat. Shabbat means Shabbats. Without the extra H, it will be U-T. So it will be spelled S-H-A-B-A-T-U-T. Not like this long version. There's no two B's in Shabbat. One B, and there's no O in the Hebrew language. This work alone should be done on the Shabbat in the sanctuary or assembly of Yahuwah, that they may atone for Yasharal with sacrifices continually from day to day for a memorial well-pleasing before Yahuwah, and that he may receive them always from day to day according as you have commanded. Now listen this. And every man who does, and any man who does any work thereon, or goes on a journey to till his farm, whatever it is in his house or any other place, and whosoever lights a fire, or rides on any beast, or travels by ship on the sea, or whosoever strikes or kills anything, or slaughter a beast or a bird, or whosoever catches an animal, or a bird, or a fish, or whosoever fasts, or makes war on the Shabbat. This man who does any of these things on the Shabbat shall die, so that the children of Yasharah shall observe the Shabbat or Shabbats according to the commandment regarding the Shabbats of the land, as it is written in the tablets which he gave into my hands, that I should write out for you the tour of the seasons, and the seasons according to the division of their days. Herewith is completed the account of the divisions of the days. Barak Yahuwah. So, what is it saying? Azari, can I go to the assembly on the Shabbat? Yes, you may. As I said earlier, if you're not making intentions to go to buy or sell, about business, about sales, about money, about work, because buying or selling is about work. It's about making a profit, earning a profit, all that stuff. So that's work. So if your intention is to leave home, go to the assembly, wherever you may assemble, whether it be at your brother's house, another sister's house, an assembly, or if you guys don't have that privilege and all you have is, Facebook or Zoom or WhatsApp, then by all means, we are now the sanctuary of Yahuwah. We are the temple of Yahuwah. We're the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. So Yahuwah says, where two or more are gathered, touching anything concerning his name, he is in the midst, which he is saying, wherever we are, Yahuwah is right there with us. So some of us may not have the privilege to go journey to our brother or sister face to face. And I've seen persons try to hit out and say that those who stay at home are not keeping the Shabbat. Kadash, you're breaking the Shabbat and all that stuff, because our disciples, our ancestors, the disciples and the apostles, they had to go and assemble in Moshe's time leading up to Yahushua's time. But remember, things being done back then is different today. Remember, today we have the Ruach HaKodesh living inside of us. So now we are a sanctified temple of Yahuwah. Back in those days, they did not have the Ruach HaKodesh inside them. So they were not a temple and needed to go to a temple to fellowship. But now we are the temple. So wherever we are, the sanctuary is, Yahuwah is. So you cannot compare back then to today in some cases. Some cases we can compare, but in some cases there is a difference. That's why Yahuwah renewed the covenant with us, because he realized by our flesh it was hard for us to be perfect. Well, the flesh only is hard for us to be perfect. It's hard for us to carry out all that is written in the Torah. But now, after giving us the Ruach HaKodesh, now we are able to be perfect. Now we are able to carry out what is written in the Torah. Now it's more possible. Now it's more easier for us. So, our ancestors did it that way back then. We're doing it this way today. So, you know that back then they had temple, sanctuary that you were not supposed to go into unless you are a priest or whatever the case may be, you are anointed to by Yahuwah, whatever the case. The temple was a very Kadash place, sanctified place, sacred place. So there were certain things that could not be done at this place or be entered into the temple. That's how our bodies are today. That's why even the video that I did concerning multiple wives, you cannot compare yourself to David or Solomon. Why? Because they were not the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. You are today. You are the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. You are the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. So if you lie with a whore, you are one, you are joined. So if you lie with someone that's unclean, you are defiling the temple. Defiling the temple with multiple wives, which according to Deuteronomy, we read that you are not supposed to have multiple wives as a king, the future king of Yasharal. If you're a bishop, a leader of the assembly, a more, whatever the case may be, a deacon, a servant, you are not to have multiple wives. You are supposed to be blameless, a husband of one wife, running your own household good. So do not compare yourselves to David or Solomon, because in those days things were different comparing to today. So, Barak Yahuwah. Now that we read it and we saw it, as I said, it's a day that Yahuwah gives us to feast. A day that Yahuwah gives us to rest, to enjoy, to live and be merry, as they would say. But doing so, giving praise, esteem, giving all the attention, all that Yahuwah requires, all that he needs on that day. And it's that simple. Now let's jump to Leviticus chapter 23, Barak Yahuwah. And this is where Yahuwah give the feast days. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, and I don't know why they call it the Torah of Moshe. I don't even call it that, the Torah of Moshe. I call it the Torah of Yahuwah. Why? Because Yahuwah is the author of the Torah. Yahuwah is the one who wrote the Torah, not Moshe. So people are saying, oh, that's Moshe's law, or whatever the case may be. And it's happening today in this walk and in religion. I heard those in Christianity say this very same quote. And even those in this walk. So I'm like, well, wait, who wrote the Torah anyways? Yahuwah was the one who wrote it with his very own finger. He wrote it with his very own finger. The words, the law, the rules. So how can you say it's Moses, when Moses never wrote a thing? All they did was deliver what was written. I don't get it. But anyways, let's continue. Yahuwah spoke unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say to them, concerning the feasts of Yahuwah, see, not Jewish feasts as we were led to believe. Oh, those are Jewish feast days. Feasts of Yahuwah, the Most High. These are his feasts, not Jewish feasts. His feasts, which you shall proclaim to be Kadash assemblies. Even these are my feasts, his feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Shabat of rest, a Kadash assembly. You shall do no work therein. It is the Shabat of Yahuwah in all your dwellings. So you see, the first one that he starts out with is the Shabbat. Let's go to Shamot or Exodus 20, and let's go to the instructions, verse 7. No, let's go back up. Barak Yahuwah. Now, this is Exodus 20, where Yahuwah gave the instructions, the laws, and most would know it as the 10 Commandments. And he will start, he says, have no Allah before his face, make no graven images, and all that stuff. You do not bow down to them, nor serve them, or any of that stuff. You do not take his name in vain. Remember the Shabbat day, 6 days shall they work, and the 7th, and all that stuff. And you do not lie, you do not steal. This is honor your father. This is the commandments, right? Now, in these commandments, what is more highlighted, as we all can see right here, is what? The Shabbat. So, if Yahusha is the master of the Shabbat, and the Shabbat is a very special day to Yahuwah, as I share with you guys to show you how special it is. You're not supposed to speak your own words. Nothing should be about you or anything else but Yahuwah on that day. It's all about Yahuwah. So if the day of Shabbat is such a Kadash day to Yahuwah, do we really think Yahusha or Daniel would break the Shabbat by fasting when we're not supposed to fast on the Shabbat? They would not break this because they would know how Kadash, how special it is. But then you may ask a question, then how do you explain them doing that 40 days fast or that 21 days fast and all that stuff? How did they do this? Let me show you how. We have an example of this in our regular work hours, in our work environment. When you should check your pay slip to show you the amount of hours you have worked for the week or for the 2 weeks or for the months, and it tells you this is your pay for the week, you have worked such days, and this is your weekly pay or your monthly pay. Now, in your weekly pay, your monthly pay, in your job, is it every day that you work? No, you get a day off, right? For those in the truth, we would get the Shabbats off. So the Shabbats would not be counted, but yet they still consider it to be our monthly pay or pay for the month. Now, if I should pay someone for the month, they should work the entire month, right? But guess what? I have to give them a day off. That's required. That's necessary. But the count will still be there. It will still be considered that way. So in Yahusha's fast, the Shabbat day would not be counted as a part of it, because he would not break the Shabbat for a fast. The Shabbat is a very important day, a very important part of our worship today. It's more important than fasting, because you're not commanded to fast every day or every week. You're commanded to fast according to the Ruach HaKodesh, according to what you're led by, or if you're fasting for Yasharal, in being in a deep state, whatever the case may be. But the Shabbat, on the other hand, there's a very more required attention focus that's needed on this day versus the fast, or any fast. So, which is more important, fasting or Shabbat? And it's quite clear. The Shabbat is way more important than a fast. The Shabbat was made before fasting, because it was because of the disobedience of mankind, the disobedience of Yasharal, why fasted was invented, created. But Shabbat, Yahuwah worked 6 days, he rested, he ceased, he stopped, he ended his work on the 7th day, and he's commanding all mankind to do the same. So you see, there's a more important emphasis on this versus a fast. And it being a feast day, as you can clearly see in Jubilees chapter 50 and Leviticus chapter 23, it's clearly a feast day. And on every feast day, like Pasah, we're supposed to kill a lamb and eat, but not today. We don't have to make any sacrifices. Barak Yahuwah for that, because he's now our high priest and all that stuff. We are a living sacrifice already. Our bodies, our spirit. So thank Yahuwah for that. But as you can see, we still eat on this day. We still have feasts. We gather together, we eat, we enjoy the day. Now, how can it be a feast day if you don't eat? That's not a feast day, you're fasting. So that wouldn't be a feast day to Yahuwah. If you do not feast, eat and drink on a feast day, then it's not a feast day to Yahuwah, because that's a part of a feast day. So, looking at your regular hours, your monthly pay, your weekly pay, you don't work you don't work every day in that week or every day in that month, but yet they still count it as monthly, weekly. That's how it would be with the 21 days or the 40 days fast. The Shabbat would not be included, but still it would lead up to 40 days. I worked 150 days in the year. Did I work that straight? No, I did not. But I worked 150 days in the year. So this is how Yahuwah sees it. This is how he would do it. This is how our ancestors did. And this is how we should do it as well. Again, I'm not forcing this or pushing this on anyone. This is your decision, your choice to choose. This is not religion where I'm going to force this doctrine on you or any of the case. If you don't think so, you don't feel so, well, that's your choice, that's your opinion. But this is what I'm led to see. This is what Yahuwah shows me. This is what we believe. This is what we will stick with. And this is what makes sense to us. Everyone has given a freedom of choice and an ability to choose between truth and lies. Sound doctrine versus unsound doctrine. So I'm not here to force anything on anyone. I'm just here to share what the Father gives to me to share. Barak Yahuwah. So if you don't feel this is the answer, or whatever the case may be, please, again I ask, please do not come on the channel with that. You should not try to bully anyone into believing what you want or what you think is okay. If you don't see that a person accepts your belief or wants to believe it or keep it, then you should let them be. We should not be in a state where we're trying to force persons into our beliefs. And I've seen that in religion, and I've seen that also in this walk today, where persons try to bully us mentally and physically to get us to accept their beliefs unknowingly. Some persons are unknowingly forced into someone else's belief. I've seen that. And this should not be happening, especially in this walk. But it goes to show you that we got to be careful in these last days, because religion is also in the walk today. This is why you got to be careful of the teachers that you give an ear to, or the assemblies, because not all are righteous. Some are synagogues of Hashatan. Do you think Yahuwah was talking only about those fake Jews that he says, I know those who say they are Jews and are not, but are synagogues of Satan? Do you really think that's the only group Yahuwah is talking about? What about the IUIC and all those other groups and all that stuff, pretending, only saying only black people are going to make it in, only Yasha are going to make it in, spreading hate, spreading hurt, rocking the star of Rimfam and not David? That's not the star of David. That's the star of a mighty one, an idol. And Salaki Yahuwah for saying that name. They're rocking the star of that idol, saying that they are full-blooded Yasharal, saying that they are of Yahuwah. Well, yes, you may be of Yasharal, but you are definitely not of Yahuwah, because if you were, then you would know that Yahuwah accepts the Gentiles, the other nations as well, as long as they are willing to repent and keep the Torah. So if you were of Yahuwah, you would not be spreading hate. You are of the devil. So when Yahuwah says, I know those who say they are Jews, Hebrews, and are not, he's not only talking about those who pretend to be us. Those are those white Ashkenazi Jews. But he's talking even in this walk, some who say they are Yasharal, servants of Yahuwah Yahusha, when they are not. This is why he will say, some will come and say, but Master, didn't I do this in your name? I cast out devils in your name. King Saul did things in Yahuwah's name, but was he accepted by Yahuwah? No, he was not. So this is not only talking about, those in JC as well, but even in this walk today. 1 Timothy 4 verse 1 tells us, the Spirit speak expressingly, that in latter times, in the latter days, some shall depart from the faith, giving in to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. 2 Thessalonians 2. Before the lawless one is to be revealed, there must be a falling away first. The falling away will come first. So you will have those who had done some things earlier in their walk. They were walking righteous with Yahuwah, for Yahuwah. But somewhere along the way, they fell off that righteous path. And I've seen that also in this walk, since I've been in this walk. I've seen persons started out so good, so perfect for Yahuwah. But as soon as they reach a stage in their life when they got to make this sacrifice, this ultimate sacrifice to Yahuwah, they're not willing to. I've seen persons not willing to give up selfies for Yahuwah. I've seen persons not willing to give up celebrating birthdays for Yahuwah. Stupid things like that, they're not willing to sacrifice to Yahuwah. So, can you imagine Yahuwah asking them to do something even more? Do you think persons are going to be that willing? This is why Yahuwah says, many are called, but few are chosen. Because only few choose to choose him back. He chose a few, and only a few choose him back. Only a few choose to do everything that Yahuwah says. Only a few who are willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for Yahuwah Yahusha. So that's why. So don't take it that everyone who says the name Yah or Yahweh or YAHUAH'S or Yahushua or whatever the case may be, don't think that everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah or Yah is righteous. Everyone does it for a reason. Perfect example, the 12 lepers. Not the 12, 10, the 10 lepers rather. 10 came to the feet of Yahusha, right? For healing. And they got healed. All 10 got healed from their leprosy. But scripture says only one came back, a foreigner, a stranger. Which goes to say to me that the other 9 would have been Jews, Hebrews. But the one that came back was what? A Gentile probably. Because he said, but this stranger, this foreigner is the only one. Weren't it 10? But only this stranger, this foreigner that came back to thank me. And because he did that, he came back to Yahusha's feet to thank him. He was not only healed of one disease, but no, he was made completely whole. So that's a full healing of everything. But they only got healing of one thing. That's how some people are today. They will only come to the assemblies. They will only call in the name of the Most High because they need something. And as soon as they get what they want, boom, bye-bye, Yahuwah. I'm going to do things my way. So don't be fooled in these last days, family and friends. Everyone has a motive, whether it is pure or not. This is why Yahuwah says, be wise as serpents, harmless as dove. They are tares that are amongst the weeds. You shall know them by their fruits. Wolves are in sheep clothing. So Yahuwah is warning, be careful. Barak Yahuwah. So, all esteemed to Abba Yahuwah, that's the take on can we fast on the Shabbat day? No, we cannot fast. According to scriptures, Barak Yahuwah. So I hope this lesson, this teaching helps you giving you clarity, understanding, opening your eyes to something, maybe exposing you to someone or something else, whatever the case may be. But Barak Yahuwah, Yahusha, all esteem belongs to Yahuwah. All the credit belongs to Yahuwah. He's the one that gave us all these teachings and these knowledge, the wisdom. So we will not take any. Barak Yahuwah Yahusha. Hallelujah. This is your brother, your Ark, Watchman Nazar Yahu. On behalf of Yahuwah's Chosen People Ministry, we want to say Shabbat Shalom to everyone who has supported, who has contributed in every way possible. Barak Yahuwah. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys so much. Continue to support, continue to share, to like, and to share with your loved ones, your friends, those who are seeking truth. Even if they're not seeking truth, our job is to spread the truth so that none can come that day of judgment to say, hey, Yahuwah, your servant did not tell me your name. We're leaving everyone without an excuse. That's our job as well. So even if they don't want the truth, share so that they can know, so that they cannot say they weren't told. Yahuwah always gives a warning before destruction. So much love to you all. If you want to reach out to us, our email will be in the link. You can send whatever questions you want there or whatever. If there's any type of debate or topic that is not clear to you, that you need clarity on, you can email us that topic or debate, and we'll seek Yahuwah, go into it, and give you a solid answer. All right, Barak Yahuwah. Ahaba u shalom to you all. May Yahuwah barakata u shamar ata, which means may Yahuwah exalt you and guard you. Fullness of love. Ahaba u shalom means fullness of love and calmness to you. Barak Yahuwah. Shabbat shalom, everyone.